As stated in the Civil Code in the Philippines under the Obligation and Contract ART 1156, an obligation is a juridical necessity to give, to do, or not to do. This means that in this case of non-compliance, the courts of justice may be called upon by a grave party to enforce its fulfillment, since the organizer and the Manila Hotel have reached a certain agreement and signed a contract till law has force or power between the contracting parties, as stated in ART 1159, considering that the Manila Hotel is the active subject, which the power or the authority to demand for the things due. Also the organizer, which is the passive subject, which has the obligation to fulfill or pay for the things due. The event organizer can request a concession from the hotel to have some discount fees for the events, since only less than 50 attendants showed up due to the Forges event.
Furthermore, the hotel can legally charge the organizer the full amount of the expenses because they basically have a contract for the event on the day of agreement, and the food and venue had already been used for that event. And since the hotel is active subject, gives the subject the power to demand for the fulfillment of the obligation as stated in the ART 1156 in Obligation and Contract of the Civil Code of the Philippines.
As an event organizer, you are responsible for planning, managing, and organizing sensational events in the most efficient and cost-effective way. They should also come up with a flat fee by determining how much all aspects of the project will cost. They must negotiate and calculate all the cost of all service, including their time, and quote a combined total for all of the expenses. Before and on the day of the event, as the passive subject, the hotel has both a real obligation, which is to serve and prepare foods for the guests, a bouquet, and complimentary rooms, and personal obligation to do, which is to serve and manage and host guests. However, after the fulfillment of its obligation, the hotel has become the active subject, which has an ability to demand for the things due. Based on the Article 1226 in Obligation with a Panel Clause, the penalty shall substitute the indemnity for the damage and the payment of interest in case of non-compliance. If there is no stipulation of the contrary, nevertheless damage shall be paid in the obligor refuses to pay the penalty or its guilt or fraud in the fulfillment of the obligation.